This is the fourth pillar of the Carifa Protocol. It addresses the psychological warfare of the modern financial system. In an industrial empire, control is a mechanical reality. In a cashless society, control is a digital illusion designed to be broken at the cashless trap. How Apple Pay and Bancontact steal your discipline. A Carifa Protocol Intelligence Report on Digital Friction, the Invisible Transaction. We are living through the greatest psychological experiment in the history of commerce. Within a single generation, money has transitioned from a physical, heavy, and tangible object into a ghostly digital abstraction. In Belgium, from the shops of Brussels to the student bars of Namur, the beep of a Bancontact terminal or the double click of an iPhone has replaced the counting of banknotes. On the surface, it is convenient. It is efficient. It is modern. But to the architect of sovereignty, convenience is often a code word for compliance. The removal of physical cash is the removal of financial friction. And without friction, there is no resistance. Without resistance, there is no discipline. This report will analyze how the cashless society is surgically designed to bypass your rational brain, turn your combat units, euros, into meaningless numbers, and keep you trapped in a cycle of unconscious consumption. Part 1. The Neuroscience of the Beep. 1. The Death of Paying Pain. Neuroeconomics has proven that spending physical cash activates the insular cortex, the same part of the brain associated with physical pain and disgust. When you hand over a 50-euro note, your brain feels a sting. You see the wallet getting thinner. You feel the loss. Digital payments, Apple Pay, Payconic, Bancontact, are designed to anesthetize this pain. When you pay with your phone, the brain doesn't register a loss of resources. It registers a technical interaction. By the time your rational mind realizes the money is gone, the dopamine hit from the purchase has already faded. You aren't paying with money. You are paying with a gesture. 2. The gamification of poverty. Apple Pay and modern banking apps use UI/UX, user interface/user experience, to make spending feel like a game. The sleek animations, the satisfying haptic vibration of the watch, the transaction successful checkmark. These are psychological rewards. The system has turned the act of losing capital into a rewarding experience. This is a direct attack on your discipline. If the leak feels good, you will never fix the pipe. Part 2. The erasure of the combat unit. 3. The abstraction of the soldier in the alpha holding framework. Every euro is a soldier. In a cash world, you can look at your desk and see your army. You know if you have a battalion or a squad. In a cashless world, your soldiers are just digits on a glowing screen. When money becomes a number, it loses its industrial density. It becomes easy to round up, easy to ignore the cents, and easy to forget the real cost we calculated in the previous module. Bancontact turns your army into a ghost fleet. It looks impressive on the radar, but it's not there when the battle starts. 4. The zero friction slippery slope. Friction is what keeps a car on the road. Financial friction is what keeps a budget on track. The one-tap culture removes the moment of reflection. The ant student sees a sandwich, taps the phone, eats. No thought. The alpha student realizes that the absence of a barrier to spend is a trap. Every time Apple Pay makes it easier to buy, it makes it harder to remain sovereign. The system wants you to be a high-velocity consumer. They want the velocity of your money, how fast it leaves your hand, to be as high as possible. Sovereignty requires you to slow down the velocity. Part 3. The tracking illusion. 5. The spreadsheet delusion. Many students say, but Apple Pay tracks everything. I can see my spending in the app. This is the post-mortem trap. Looking at your spending after it has happened is like doing an autopsy on a soldier who died because you sent him into an ambush. It's useful for the next war, but it doesn't save the soldier. The instant notification gives you a false sense of control. It tells you that you spent 15 euros at a bar, but it doesn't stop the impulse before it happens. Discipline is preventative. Digital tracking is merely diagnostic. 6. The subscription parasites. The cashless society is the mother of the subscription economy. Because you don't physically pay your Netflix, Spotify, or Adobe fees every month, they become invisible leaks. They are silent withdrawals. If you had to walk to a shop every month and hand over 15 euros in cash for a streaming service, you would ask, is this worth it? Because it happens in the digital shadows, your discipline never wakes up to fight it. Part 4. Reclaiming the friction, the alpha protocols. 7. The digital envelope system, the pocket strategy. Since we cannot go back to the 19th century, we must use technology against technology. To regain discipline, you must reintroduce friction manually. Protocol: use sub-accounts, pockets, in apps like Revolut or N26. The discipline wall: move your leisure budget to a specific digital card. When that card is declined, the social life is over. No overdraft, no credit, no transfer from savings. The beep: failing is the only digital signal strong enough to wake up your rational brain. If you'd like to learn more, please click on the first link in the description. 8. The cash-only weekend experiment to reset your neurochemistry. The Corifea protocol recommends the cash weekend. The challenge: withdraw 50 euros on Friday evening. Leave your cards and your phone's NFC, Apple Pay, at home. The result: you will suddenly realize how expensive things are. You will find yourself negotiating with yourself over a 4 euro beer because you see the physical notes disappearing. This is the resensitization of your financial brain. Part 5. The sovereignty of data. 9. Privacy as a business asset. In the alpha holding world, information is power. Every time you use Bancontact or Apple Pay, you are feeding a massive data engine. They know your habits, your weaknesses, and your locations. They use this data to target you with more convenient offers to make you spend more. Sovereignty isn't just about money. It's about data autonomy. Using cash for small transactions isn't just a discipline exercise. It's a way to keep your industrial habits private from the algorithms designed to exploit them. 10. The 24-hour digital sync. Never trust the app summary. Every evening, the alpha does a manual sync. You open your own spreadsheet or notebook and you type in the numbers. This physical act of typing or writing the expense forces the brain to own the transaction. It turns the digital ghost back into a physical reality. Master the tool, or be the tool. Apple Pay and Bancontact are brilliant pieces of engineering. But they were not engineered for your wealth. They were engineered for the velocity of the market. As a future industrialist managing 30 containers of fish, you must be able to use digital tools without being seduced by their ease. You must be the one who dictates the flow. The scanner is active. Restore the friction. Command your digital soldiers. Stay sovereign. If you'd like to learn more, please click on the first link in the description.